Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Hope you are fine. I welcome you to my tutorial, that is Jafar's tutorial, presented by me, that is Muhammad Jafar Iqbal, Assistant Professor of Physics, Raju Kuttara Model College, English Medium Morning Shift. Today the topic we will discuss, that is geometrical optics of class 12 of physics. Let us see, that is we see prism in the we see the picture of the prism. What is prism? Prism is a transparent medium bounded by two inclined surfaces. Here two inclined surface, it is a transparent medium. It is also, usually we mean when we say prism, we mean this body. Basically this is a prism and this one is also prism. That means a transparent medium bounded by two inclined surfaces is known as prism. The special characteristics of the prism is, when light passes through the prism, there will be deviation of the light. Let us see here. This is the incident ray, this one is the refracted ray, and this one is the emergent ray. This one is the emergent ray. So if we produce forward the incident ray and if we produce the emergent ray backward, then we can see the angle, an angle between the incident ray and the emergent ray. This angle is known as angle of deviation. That means the angle between the incident ray and the emergent ray is known as angle of deviation. There is a relation between the angle of incidence and angle of deviation. We see the relation between angle of incidence and angle of deviation with a curve. If we place angle of incidence along x-axis and angle of deviation along y-axis, then we see here that when the angle of incidence is 35, that is less, the angle of deviation is high. With the increase of angle of incidence, angle of deviation gradually decreases, but at a certain value, the value of angle of deviation is minimum, and from there if we increase the angle of incidence, we see that angle of deviation is also increases. So this is the minimum value of angle of deviation, and that's why this point is known as, this angle is known as angle of minimum deviation. Now we will determine the refractive index of the material of the prism. Here we see a prism, that is ABC is a prism. AB is a refracting surface and AC is another refracting surface. Here PQ is the incident ray, QR is the refracted ray, and RS is the emergent ray. Here we draw NQ perpendicular, and we extend this up to O prime. So PQN is the angle of incidence, this is I1, and then this is the refracted ray and this one is the emergent ray. If we draw another perpendicular on the surface AC, that is N prime R, and we produce this up to O prime, so NQO and N prime RO meet at point O prime. So here this one, that is SR N prime, is the angle of emergence, that is I2. We produce PQ in forward direction and we produce this SR in backward direction, so they are meeting at point O. So here, that is LOR is the angle of deviation, and this one here angle OQR is angle R1, that is the angle of refraction R1, and O prime RQ, that is angle of refraction, that is angle of refraction in the second surface, that is R2. That this one is angle R1 and this one is angle R2. That is the description of the figure. Now from the triangle let us say from the triangle OQR, from the triangle OQR, let us see here OQR, this angle delta is the external angle, so we can write delta is equal to OQR, angle OQR plus ORQ, because we know that the external angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the two interior far angles. So here OQR, here OQR and ORQ are the two exterior two internal far angles. So instead of OQR, we can write I1 minus R1, because we know that this angle is I1. So this angle, total angle is, that is OQ prime. This angle is also I1 because vertical opposite angle. And similarly, this angle is I2. So this angle, that is ORO prime. This angle is also I2. So if we subtract, that is I1, if we subtract R1 minus R1, that is R1 minus I1, then we can get, that is OQR. Similarly, we get ORQ is equal to I2 minus R2. So we write here is equal to I1 plus I2 minus R1 plus R2. That is equation number 1. Now we come to triangle triangle O prime QR. In this triangle O prime QR, in this triangle, that is in this triangle QO prime R, angle plus R1 plus R2 is equal to 180 degree. We know, because the sum of three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. And again we come to the quadrilateral, that is AQO prime R. We know that the sum of four angles of a triangle is four right angles. The sum of four angles of a quadrilateral, the sum of four angles of a quadrilateral is four right angles. So in triangle, in quadrilateral AQO prime R is four right angles. Again, angle AQO prime is equal to angle ARO prime is equal to one right angle, because this is perpendicular of the surface AB, and this one, that is N prime RO, perpendicular to the surface AC. So that's why this angle AQO prime 90 degree and ARO prime is also 90 degree. So we can write here QAR plus QO prime R, QAR plus QO prime R is equal to two right angles, because we know this angle one right angle, this angle one right angle. So these two angles two right angles. So remaining two angles, this angle and this angle, are two right angles. Again we know that angle QO prime R plus R1 plus R2 is equal to 180 degree, and also we got angle QAR plus angle QO prime R is equal to two right angles. So we can equate these two, that is angle QO prime R plus R1 plus R2 is equal to angle QAR plus angle QO prime R, that is R1 plus R2, because we see that that is angle QO prime R is on both sides. So we can remove these two angles, that therefore R1 plus R2 is equal to angle QAR is equal to, that is angle A. Putting the value of angle A in the equation 1, we know delta is equal to I1 plus I2 minus angle of deviation. We know this value. The refractive index of the material of the prism, that is we know mu is equal to sin I1 by sin R1. But at the angle of minimum deviation, then I1 is equal to I2 and R1 is equal to R2. Therefore delta m is equal to twice I1 minus A1. Putting here this value here, that is I1 is equal to I2, so delta m is equal to twice I1 minus A, that is I1 is equal to delta m plus A by 2. So we get the value of I1, and also we know that R1 plus R2 is equal to A. So instead of R2 we put here R1, so R1 plus R1 is equal to A, that is R1 is equal to A by 2. So putting the value of I1 and R1 in equation 2, we get mu is equal to sin A plus del m by 2 by sin A by 2. So this is the value of the refractive index of the material of the prism. The phenomena when light passes through the prism, then light divided into its component. That we know white light is a compound light. There are 7 colors in the white light, and when this white light is passing through the prism, the colors are dividing into its components. The color is dividing into its component, and as a result we are getting a spectrum. If we place a screen here, we get a spectrum, clear spectrum. Why this happens? This happens due to the different angle of deviation for different colors. The angle of deviation depends on the wavelength. If the wavelength of the light is more, the deviation is less, and if the wavelength is less, the deviation is more. That's why the violet color is deviated. The violet color is deviated more, and the red color is deviated least, because the wavelength of the violet is minimum here and the red is maximum. That's why the deviation is red color is less and the deviation of violet color is maximum. That's why all the colors are divided and we get a spectrum. Let us solve a mathematical problem. The radii of curvature of a biconvex lens in air of refractive index 1.5 are 6 cm and 12 cm respectively. Question number C. Determine the focal length of the lens of the stem. Number D. If the lens is immersed in water, will there be any change in its focal length? Analyze mathematically. Solution. Number C. Refractive index of glass mu g is equal to 1.5. Radius of curvature of first surface R1 is equal to 6 cm. Radius of curvature of second surface, it will be second surface. The radius of curvature of second surface, that is R2, is equal to minus 12 cm. So focal length F is equal to what? We have to remember that for biconvex lens, the radius of curvature of the second surface, this one will be second surface will be negative. Therefore focal length F is equal to what? We know if the formula for finding the focal length, that is 1 upon F is equal to mu g minus 1 into 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2, that is 1.5 minus 1 into 1 by 6 cm plus 1 by 12 cm, that is F is equal to 8 cm. We found the focal length F is equal to 8 cm. Number D. Refractive index of glass mu g is equal to 1.5. Refractive index of water mu w is equal to 1.33. Radius of curvature of first surface R1 is equal to 6 cm, and radius of curvature of second surface, this will be second surface, not first, second surface R2 is equal to minus 12 cm. And focal length F is equal to what? That is, we know F is equal to 1 upon F. Since the lens is in water, that's why here mu g by mu w minus 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2, that is 1.5 by 1.33 minus 1 into 1 by 6 cm plus 1 by 12 cm, or F is equal to 32 cm. Therefore focal length will be 4 times, because the previous focal length was 8 cm and the present focal length is 32 cm. So focal length will be 4 times. So what we learned from this from today's discussion? Number 1, what is prism? Angle of deviation in prism. Determining the refractive index of the material of the prism, and solving mathematical problem. So today I am going to finish my class. In the next class we will have I will come with some mathematical problem. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.